Hello, horror fans, and welcome back to another spine-chilling episode of Real Talk Horror Edition. I'm your host, Josh, and I'm absolutely thrilled to have you join me today. Each episode here, we're embarking on a journey through the dark and twisted world of horror films, exploring the elements that make them not just entertaining, but sometimes deeply unsettling. So whether you're a seasoned horror aficionado or just dipping your toes into the genre, there's something here for everyone. Today, we're going to dive into the terrifying depths of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, this landmark film from 1956. It has a chilling narrative and unsettling themes that still resonate with us. So grab your favorite snacks, settle in, and prepare for a discussion that will take you to the edge of your seat. In this podcast, we explore rich landscapes of horror films, dissecting what makes them terrifying masterpieces or chilling missteps. We'll examine everything from classic chillers that laid the groundwork to the genre of modern thrillers that push boundaries and redefine what horror can be. Each episode, we try to leave no stone unturned in our quest to understand the fear that keeps us coming back for more. What makes a horror film resonate? Is it the relatable characters, the intricate plots, or perhaps innovative cinematography? Here at Real Talk, we'll unpack these elements while also discussing the cultural and psychological impacts of the films we review. Prepare for a mix of analysis, personal anecdotes, and maybe even a few scares along the way. So today we're focusing on the 1956 film Invasion of the Body Snatchers. This is a film that not only terrifies, but also serves as a powerful reflection of the societal anxieties of its time. This classic is often regarded as a metaphor for the fears surrounding conformity, loss of individuality, and the pervasive threat of external forces, a sentiment that was especially potent during the Cold War era. So we'll dive deep into the plot, we'll examine how the narrative unfolds with a palpable tension that grips us from start to finish. We'll explore the characters and their development, dissect the themes that run through the film, and analyze the cinematography and sound design that work together to create an unforgettable atmosphere. By the end of this episode, you'll understand why Invasion of the Body Snatchers holds such a revered place in horror history, and why I believe it remains a must-see for anyone who dares to step into the shadowy world of horror films. So without any further ado, let's just jump right into the heart of this classic. Invasion of the Body Snatchers tells the chilling story of Dr. Miles Bennell, portrayed by the talented Kevin McCarthy. Returning to his quaint, small-town community after a medical conference, Miles is quickly struck by an unsettling phenomenon. His friends and neighbors appear to be changing, their emotional connections fading as they are gradually replaced by emotionless duplicates, creatures that have emerged from alien plant spores. This insidious invasion spreads like wildfire, fueled by paranoia and fear, as the townspeople find themselves unable to trust even those closest to them. With time running out, Miles embarks on a desperate race against the clock to uncover the truth behind the alien takeover before he too succumbs to becoming one of the pod people. The film masterfully balances the horror of the external threat with the internal dread of losing your identity, making this a timeless classic in the genre. Alright, so to start with the plot and the storytelling, some strengths and weaknesses. This film masterfully weaves a tight narrative filled with suspense and a palpable sense of impending doom. The pacing is deliberate yet engaging, allowing tension to build organically as the story progresses towards its own haunting climax. One of the film's unique aspects is its small town setting, which really amplifies the horror of losing one's community to an insidious invasion. As Miles confronts the reality of the situation, the slow realization that something is fundamentally wrong creates an atmosphere of dread. Now, while the film is generally strong in its storytelling, some may find the special effects dated by today's standards, especially in the portrayal of the Body Snatchers. However, I believe this only adds to the film's charm and allows us to focus on the psychological horrors at play. The narrative's slow buildup effectively contrasts with the chaos that ensues later, giving us a well-rounded experience of both terror and suspense. But what sets it apart? Unlike many other horror films of the era, Invasion of the Body Snatchers captures this essence of Cold War paranoia and the fear of conformity that permeated American society in the 50s. The film's commentary on identity and the loss of individuality resonates deeply with us still today. It prompts us to question the very nature of what it means to be human. This exploration of societal issues elevates it beyond typical horror fare, marking it as a significant and thought-provoking entry in the genre. The notion that the greatest threat may come not from external monsters, but from within our own communities adds a terrifying layer of psychological depth that is truly relevant still today. Now, the cast and the acting, Kevin McCarthy delivers the standout performance. As Dr. Miles Bennell, he infuses this character with a compelling mix of vulnerability and dogged determination. His portrayal of a man fighting against this unseen enemy draws us into his desperate struggle, and it makes his journey relatable and all the more heart-wrenching. McCarthy's ability to shift from calm professionalism to frantic urgency is particularly impressive. It keeps us engaged and invested in his character's plight. And then the supporting cast, including the talented Dana Winter as Becky Driscoll, effectively conveys this confusion and horror that is gripping the town. Winter's performance adds this emotional depth to the film, particularly as her character grapples with this terrifying reality that's unfolding around her. And the characters in Invasion of the Body Snatchers undergo significant evolution throughout the film, transitioning from skeptics to sheer terror as they confront this harsh reality of the invasion, and the evolution of Miles from a rational, scientific doctor to a frantic man on the run is a central theme that underscores the film's exploration of fear and helplessness in the face of this unimaginable threat. As the characters witness their loved ones transformed into unfeeling duplicates, their personal struggles resonate deeply with viewers, reflecting the broader anxieties of the era, and the gradual disintegration of trust among the townsfolk adds layers of complexity to their development, and it really enhances the film's chilling commentary on this isolation and conformity. Now, Invasion of the Body Snatchers really dives into some profound themes of identity, conformity, and the existential fear of losing your own individuality. The film operates as this powerful metaphor for the societal anxieties of the 1950s, particularly the pervasive fear of communism and the threats of the societal homogenization. As the characters grapple with these terrifying notions of being replaced by emotionless duplicates, the film critiques the loss of personal identity in a world increasingly driven by conformity. This underlying commentary elevates the film beyond mere horror. It transforms it into a reflective piece that resonates deeply within its time and even in our time. The invasion here serves as a stark warning against complacency and blind acceptance of societal norms, urging us to recognize the value of individuality and the importance of questioning the status quo. The film also explores these themes of paranoia and distrust, mirroring the sentiments of the Cold War era, where fear of infiltration and betrayal permeated everyday life. The gradual loss of community bonds and personal connection depicted in the film evokes a real sense of isolation, and it compels us to confront our anxiety of being surrounded by others who may no longer share our humanity. Now, the pod people serve as the ultimate representation of the loss of individuality and humanity, transforming friends and loved ones into unfeeling, identical beings. This chilling transformation really underscores the film's exploration of conformity, and it suggests that in the pursuit of uniformity, we risk losing our essence. The iconic image of the alien pods acts as a potent symbol of invasion, a tangible embodiment of the fear that our loved ones can be altered into something unrecognizable, stripped of their identities and memories. The pods also reflect this insidious nature of societal pressures, silently seeping into the lives of the characters and undermining their autonomy. The film's setting in a seemingly idyllic small town becomes a symbol of innocence corrupted, emphasizing how quickly the familiar can become truly alien. This shift from comfort to horror serves as a reminder of how societal fears can infiltrate even the most secure environments, transforming them into breeding grounds for paranoia and distrust. Now, when we break down the cinematography and the visuals, it starts with Don Siegel, who employed stark black and white cinematography to create this chilling atmosphere that significantly enhances the film's tension. The contrast between light and shadow is utilized to evoke feelings of unease, with low-angle shots emphasizing the character's vulnerability and the looming threat of the pod people. The dramatic lighting not only heightens the paranoia of the characters, but it also creates a sense of claustrophobia, reflecting the mental states as they grapple with the reality of their situation. These visual choices contribute to an overall sense of dread, and they allow us to feel the weight of Miles' predicament and the horror that envelops the town. Some memorable visual moments, such as the eerie transformation scenes where the pod people emerge from their cocoons, are unforgettable highlights that contribute significantly to the film's lasting impact. And the haunting final shot, featuring Miles' desperate plea and the chilling realization that the invasion may be unstoppable, resonates deeply with us, leaving a mark on our psyche. The use of the unsettling imagery and the abrupt transitions reinforce the film's themes, ensuring that its visual legacy endures all these decades later. And now, the film employs minimal but effective sound effects that build tension throughout its runtime. There's eerie silence that often precedes a revelation. It adds to the sense of dread, allowing us in the audience to feel the weight of impending horror. Ambient noises, such as the unsettling rustle of the pods, the distinct screams, all work to enhance this overall atmosphere and immerse us in the film's chilling world. The sound design works in tandem with the visual elements to create a multi-layered experience that heightens emotional responses, and it evokes an atmosphere of relentless anxiety. And the score, composed by Carmen Dragon, blends orchestral music with unsettling undertones, and they help to amplify the tensions and the heightened emotional responses. The music subtly allows the horror to unfold naturally, enhancing the impact of key moments without ever overshadowing the visuals. Themes of despair and urgency resonate through the score, seamlessly intertwining with the narrative and elevating the emotional stakes. This combination of sound and score not only adds to the film's haunting atmosphere, but it serves as a reminder of that ever-present danger lurking just beneath the surface of everyday life. So now the pacing of Invasion of the Body Snatchers is perfectly executed, with a relentless buildup of suspense that keeps us on edge from start to finish. The tension ebbs and flows and skillfully draws us into the narrative while maintaining a palpable sense of anxiety. The film gradually introduces elements of horror and allows the characters' growing paranoia to mirror our own mounting dread. This careful balance ensures that the film remains engaging, with each scene contributing to the overall atmosphere of fear. And the editing plays a crucial role in maintaining the suspense, especially during the film's transformation sequences. Quick cuts heighten the urgency of the plot, leaving us breathless as the reality of the invasion starts to sink in. The juxtaposition of calm moments with sudden bursts of terror create a jarring effect that heightens the impact of key scenes, compelling us to confront our own fears of the unknown. The innovative editing style not only contributes to the film's emotional resonance, but also solidifies its status as a horror classic, illustrating the meticulous craftsmanship that defines Invasion of the Body Snatchers. The scares in Invasion of the Body Snatchers are remarkably effective, relying more on that psychological horror and the pervasive fear of losing loved ones than on overt gore. The film excels in cultivating a sense of paranoia that resonates deeply with us, making the horror feel not just real, but immediate, just outside our door. The subtlety of its scares lies in the slow, creeping realization that the very people we trust and love can be transformed into something alien and stripped of their individuality and humanity. This psychological manipulation creates an atmosphere of dread that lingers long after viewing, leaving us questioning the intentions and identities of those around us. The film plays on this universal fear of abandonment and betrayal, enhancing its effectiveness. The chilling notion that one could wake up to find their partner, family member, or friend is no longer themselves is a primal fear that taps into the deepest corners of our psyche. This emotional resonance is what makes Invasion of the Body Snatchers so haunting, establishing it as a timeless horror film that transcends its era. And the film achieves a near-perfect balance between psychological horror and suspense, seamlessly weaving together elements that amplify the tension. While there are moments of shocking imagery, particularly during the transformation scenes, the core of the fear lies in the unsettling concept of being taken over by something sinister and beyond our control. This idea is infinitely more chilling than traditional jump scares or graphic violence, as it provokes deeper reflections on identity and autonomy. Invasion of the Body Snatchers masterfully avoids reliance on excessive gore, instead choosing to focus on unsettling implications of conformity and the loss of self. This restraint not only heightens the film's psychological impact, but also allows the narrative to breathe, creating space for us to absorb the horror of what is happening to the characters. The juxtaposition of calm, everyday life with the encroaching threat of alien invasion reinforces this unsettling notion that horror can lurk beneath the surface of normalcy, making this film a standout entry in the horror genre. So as we start to wrap up, Invasion of the Body Snatchers remains a brilliant example of 1950s horror cinema, skillfully combining social commentary with psychological terror. The exploration of themes related to identity, conformity, and the inherent fear of losing one's humanity resonates strongly in today's society, making it a relevant and thought-provoking film 70 plus years after its release. The movie stands as a testament to the power of horror as a vehicle for addressing societal anxieties, challenging us to confront our own fears about conformity and the erosion of individuality. for its adept storytelling, impactful performances, and profound thematic depth. Invasion of the Body Snatchers earns a solid 9 out of 10, and it solidifies its status as a classic in the genre. If you haven't seen Invasion of the Body Snatchers, I highly recommend it. It's an essential watch for fans of horror, offering a perfect blend of tension, thought-provoking themes, and unforgettable visuals that linger with us. This film not only entertains, but also invites introspection about our own identities and the societal pressures that seek to conform us, making this a must-watch for anyone interested in the deeper layers of horror. So did you love Invasion of the Body Snatchers? Did it send chills down your spine and leave you questioning the nature of those around you? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Reach out and share your experiences with this classic. Did it evoke any personal reflections or fears? Your feedback enriches our discussions and connects us as a community of horror enthusiasts. Next time, we're going to step into the campy side of horror with the 1987 film Return to Horror High. This wild ride is filled with laughs, scares, and unexpected twists, and I can't wait to dig into it with you. Get ready for a blend of horror and humor that will keep you on your toes and possibly leave you questioning the very nature of the horror genre itself. Now, before you go, please don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review Real Talk's Horror Edition. Your support means the world and helps us reach more horror aficionados who crave in-depth discussions about their favorite films. You can connect with us on social media or email us at therealrealtalk@gmail.com and follow us on Instagram and Threads @RealRealTalk for updates, behind-the-scenes content, and more horror-related and film-related fun. So until next time, stay creepy, keep those lights on, and remember, you never know when something sinister might be lurking just beyond your door.